Thanks for joining our podcast. I'm Jon Watkins, and this is Breaking Nashville.
I can't wait for you to be my wife, to live this life together.
That's Arista recording artist Ben Rue and his new single called I Can't Wait, Be My Wife on Breaking Nashville, where we try to introduce you to the next rising stars on Music Row. Please make sure to follow us on Twitter. It's at Breaking Nash, also on Facebook, and of course our website, which is breakingnashvillepodcast.com. Hey, so I was doing some research trying to get ready for you today, and I found this local paper who wrote a piece on you when you decided to move to Nashville.
Yeah, that was probably the Silverton Appeal or the Statesman Journal.
Was that surreal for you, for your local paper to go, hey, you're moving away, let's do an entire piece? And I'm talking, this was a long article. It wasn't just a footnote.
Yeah, no, it's so humbling to have the whole town just, this doesn't happen every day for a small town. And so when someone follows their dream and picks up everything that they know and moves across country, it's people want to know about it. And I was just fortunate enough that they wanted to do an article on me.
Where in Oregon were you born?
I was born in Silverton, Oregon.
Silverton, Oregon. Okay. Now
it's probably about 10,000 people.
Which came first, you moving to Nashville or you going to the X Factor?
I went to the X Factor first. That was a couple of years ago. My buddy was just like, hey, I saw this audition online, you should check it out. And then 3 days later, I went and auditioned, and it turned out to go really well.
So where was the audition at compared to Silverton?
The audition was in Seattle, so that's about 4 hours north. So it wasn't a big trek by any means, but it was just a fun day trip, and, with zero expectations, that turned into be, the jump start for everything.
What song do you remember did you do for your first audition in front of the producers?
I sang Colder Weather by Zac Brown Band.
Oh, nice.
And then I Swear by John Michael Montgomery. And
then the I Swear, was that when you were in front of Simon Cowell?
Yeah. So he was like, Simon was like, I want to hear another one. Why don't you sing I Swear by John Michael Montgomery? And I was like, crap, dude, I don't remember that song. It's been years.
Yeah.
And then Paul Abdul was like, I swear by the, and then I just, I guess it just came to me, and I started singing that one, and the crowd went nuts, and that's the, when they decided to send me through to Hollywood.
They didn't care about the lyrics then. They just wanted to hear the voice.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then I'm just, it was my first time on stage, and that happened to be in front of 4,000 people. So,
that was your first time on stage ever?
Well, in front of a legit crowd.
Yeah.
I played coffee shops and whatnot, but not, big shows like that.
Did it throw you off at all to be up with so many people watching you?
I thought it would. It was, whenever you can't really see their faces in the crowd, it doesn't throw me off as much as I would much rather sing in front of 4,000 people than I would in front of 3, just because they're hanging on every single word, and you can see their faces and their expressions. And in front of 4,000 people, you can't see everyone, so you just kind of look out somewhere in the crowd. At least that's what I did then, when I was really nervous. And I had just fine. Yeah. You mentioned,
singing in front of 3 people. We've talked before during Breaking Nashville about the radio tours where sometimes you're stuck in these rooms where it's just a program director or a music director, and they're going, here you go, sing in my office.
I'm much better now than I was. And it takes practice. It's all about getting out there and playing, and that's all I've done since I've been here in Nashville, is played out and played in front of people. So I'm much better at it now than I was, but so it doesn't bother me as much anymore.
So you got cut from the X Factor at the top 80. You go back to your hometown and you say, you know what? That gave me the confidence. It's time for me to move to Nashville.
Kind of, yeah. So I was working on the farm. We have a family farm in Oregon, and I was working with my dad and my brothers, and they'd always see me singing songs and see me, you know, I screwed up a lot on a farm. I wrecked a lot of equipment. And so, you know, they always blamed it on me thinking about something else, which I was, and I was always thinking about music. So at one point they were just like, why don't you just go? Why don't you just do this? And then I was like, you know what? If I don't do it now, I'm going to regret it. So I packed up the old 98 Ford Explorer and drove across country. It's only 38 hours, if you're wondering.
Jeez. It's a good car.
I still have it.
Oh, cool.
I still have it. 215,000 miles.
Jeez.
I'm so good.
And so you packed up, you drove to Nashville, and then did you have a friend that you were going to crash with, or did you have to find a place and just get a job?
I knew one person from the X Factor. A friend of mine that I met in Hollywood.
Okay.
And another musician, artist, and really that was the only person I knew. So I had one contact who just happened to be the head of A&R at Sony.
Nice.
And Jim Catino, and he put me under his wing and introduced me to everyone I need to know. And I didn't realize how fortunate I was until, you know, about a year into it, to know, you know, Jim as my first contact in Nashville. So
how long was it from the day you arrived in Nashville to the day you actually signed your first record contract?
Well, it was April. It was 2 years and February, March, April. It was 2 years and 2 months.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, it's always slower than you want it to happen, but I'm glad that it did take a while. At least in my eyes. I know that some people are here, 10 years and don't ever get that opportunity, but I'm glad it took at least 2 years just so I can grow as an artist and learn what I really want to do, Where was the place that you played a lot in Nashville during those 2 years? Places, I played a lot of ride-arounds, so the Listening Room I've played a lot. I've played the Indigo Hotel downtown a lot. I played Margaritaville quite a bit during the day to make some money, and I actually have my last shift there today. Nice. At Margaritaville. So I enjoyed playing there, but I'm happy to be. So you're telling me that you're signed to a major label, Arista Records. You're out on a radio tour. Yet you're still working a normal job. You got to go out today and work. I got to make money, man. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't. I'm not making a ton of money right now, so it's still the young, it just started. I mean, I just got signed 2 months ago, so stuff has to develop first before, I start making any more money on the road. And, we talk to artists, though, who, they get signed to a label, but then it's another year and a half before they actually go through this launch and this radio tour. You said only 2 months since you signed. So did they have a good plan for you right away? And they said, let's get you out on the road? Well, we had to move really quickly because it's a wedding song and it's seasonal. And, I signed and we wanted it out yesterday. Right. because obviously we wanted it out before people start getting married. And I hate saying it's just a wedding song because really, to me, it's a reminder of why people got married in the first place. So I think that any married couple can relate to it. And it's also, it's something to look forward to. So if you're in a relationship or you want a relationship, I think it's something that people can relate to, down the road. And your single, of course, is called I Can't Wait, Be My Wife. Do you ever stare down Lee Brice and go, dude, I got the wedding song. This is mine. No, even being compared to Lee Brice is humbling, but I love him, and he's got a great song out, too. It's all what people can relate to, and, I'll be very happy to be compared to Lee Brice. Yeah, any day, right? Yeah. Now, you've been out on your radio tour for how many weeks? Well, we just started. We're going to really kick it into gear in the next couple weeks. I'm flying to Florida, and then I'm actually going back to Oregon to do a bunch of shows and do some radio stuff. So we've only been doing